Hi, I'm Debbie Viola, a contemporary artist from Long Island, New York. I'm actually more like an accidental artist. I didn't go to art school and I didn't even pick up a paintbrush until I was 40 years old. But when I was 43, I walked away, no, ran away from a 23-year career in New York City on September 11th, 2001, and I stepped into the unknown. But what I did know in that moment was that life was too short and I didn't want to live with regrets. I didn't know it then, but art would become my healing, my career, and my way of giving back. For me, immersing myself in a newfound hobby during those long, long nights of insomnia felt like the only antidote to the tragedy I had witnessed from my office windows in Midtown Manhattan. And 24 years later, I still can't put it into words, so I won't. But I found that art allows me to communicate without having to speak. I could talk through my paintbrush. And today I create abstract paintings that help people reconnect with peace, with joy, and what matters most. I create calming, intuitive paintings that elevate homes, heal hearts, and more important, evoke hope and serenity. I don't know about you. My favorite place in the world is by the ocean. So it was only fitting when I chose the name for its first collection that I'm finally ready to share. Now, this just isn't my first collection release. It's the moment I'm choosing to stop hiding. I don't know if you know, but many artists just like to stay in their surroundings, have low key profile, and just paint our hearts away. And that's what I've done for years and years and years. But I decided it's the moment to stop hiding. This collection marks a turning point for me, not just as an artist, but as a woman choosing visibility. When I was growing up in the 60s, it may have just been part of the culture where the boys' education was more important and the girls were made to feel lesser than or not as important. College as an option for me was never even mentioned at the dinner table, even though I was on the National Honor Society and a pretty smart kid. But yet my brother went. Our parents weren't malicious. It was just all that they knew back then. And I think because of that upbringing, some of us became people pleasers and did what was expected, right? So I became the perfect, dutiful, robotic employee, working through lunch, staying late for 23 years. And as the years went on, I just hated it more and more, but it was all I knew how to do. And it provided money for our family, right? We had a daughter going to college soon and then a son not far behind. So I did what I knew I had to do for my family without thinking of my own self and how much I hated it. Um, and I guess that mentality sticks until we choose otherwise, or until something happens and you have instant clarity about what no longer serves you. And September 11th was, certainly my turning point. And I hate that my story coincides with that, but, it's just who I am. And now I'm finally choosing to say, I'm an artist ready to share with the world. This is who I am. This is what I create. Let me share peace and tranquility with you. These paintings, along with hundreds of others, have lived quietly in my studio for years as I journeyed through life, running a decorative painting business, babysitting grandchildren, which I wouldn't have traded for the world, caregiving for years, and now healing and rediscovering my voice. Today, they mark the beginning of something new, a series of quiet offerings from my heart to yours. Over time, I realized that art had its own way of showing up, and sometimes it arrives long before we're ready to share it. Like I said, they were created over the past decade, each one during a different chapter of my life. But when I revisited them, I realized they were always meant to go together. Their textures, their colors, their stories. They feel like a soft, strong breath of ocean air. Each painting in this series was created to evoke stillness, strength, and transformation. The collection is more than a group of paintings. It's me stepping forward and saying, I'm ready, ready to bring my work into the light, ready to invite you in, even though I feel a bit naked right now. And I'm sorry if I'm referring to notes, but I would have been a total mess if I didn't. So, introducing the ocean's quiet strength, a collection of gentle power, strength, and inner stillness. I hope you feel the peace I poured into them and the sense of calm when you look at them. In a world that moves fast and often feels loud, I believe our space should offer the opposite: a pause, a refuge, a reminder of who we are beneath all the noise. That's what inspired the ocean's quiet strength, my official art collection after being an artist for decades. Each painting in this series was created to evoke stillness, strength, and transformation. I feel that peace isn't passive, it's powerful. It holds you and it restores you, just like the ocean does. Now, I've been out of sight gathering inspiration like the sea gathers its waves. And just as the tide returns to the shore, my creativity and my voice is rushing forward again. This new collection speaks softly, yet carries the same undeniable pull as the ocean. The ocean's quiet strength turns the page to a chapter of stillness, beauty, and the resilience of the horizon after a storm. I hope you'll continue on my journey, and I'm so grateful that you're here. This is only the beginning, I promise. There's no turning back now. Please stay tuned and enjoy the collection and the music. I've included a close look at each piece, along with some thoughts and inspirations behind them. And at the end, there's a link to my website where you could browse around, get to know me better, and see an email sign up for the Painted Pause, where I'll be sharing more of my life as an artist. Thank you so much.